Was your mobile hotspot like the size of this fridge?
No, it was the size of a hockey puck. I mean, it was big. It was a big plastic thing, and you just had and you had to come up with all the stuff that trips me up. You got to come up with a password and just like just a couple, 2, 3 of those hoops that I have to jump through. But,
that's too much.
But I've been working lately. I remember seeing. Maybe I was watching one of the interviews you did or whatever. You said how you think everyone should have a therapist. If you just talk to somebody,
yes,
the world would be a better place. Well, I haven't gone to therapy in I finally at one point I was just going like, dude, I'm always going to be fucked up. I mean, I can sit here like I'm done talking about my childhood, so I'm just going to be talking about the dumb shit that happens every day. Like it was starting to feel like a reality show, a one-on-one reality show. But recently I've really been working on my not snapping over little things. And I started to snap this morning for the first time in like 4 days, and it actually felt a little weird. But I'm just going to keep trying to do what I'm doing with it. And I keep talking about it out loud so I remember it. Because, it's like, hey, I'm going to go to the gym. Yeah. And then that week you fucking crush it. Next week you 3/4 crush it. Yeah. And by a month later you've eaten Oreos sitting on a couch.
So what are you doing? Like, do you just like breathe deeply or like when you well, big thing is driving. Sure.
So when I get in the fucking car, I just say like, first of all, I leave enough fucking time to get there. I don't leave the utopia time. This should take a half hour.
Nope.
How dare these other people in front of me have other plans in other lives? So I leave plenty of time, and then it's just weird. I drive slower.
Really?
I'm probably driving somebody nuts behind me. I drive slower. I stop at yellow lights. I let people go. I chill out. I actually, this is another thing, I swear to God. This is like, they use this for premature ejaculation. I'm actually using this. I listen to baseball. They used to tell you, think about baseball. I never understood that. If you don't want to fucking bust a nut, I start thinking of fucking Carl Yastrzemski. Now, fucking got a hard dick thinking about the fucking left field of the Red Sox. I mean, it's just confusing. It's like, wait, am I attracted to this guy? I just didn't feel like you were present.
Sorry, I was busy.
Sorry, I was thinking about fucking Jerry Remy. No, I put on like, there's something about smoking a cigar and listening to baseball on a radio is like some old man shit, and it slows life down. I don't know what it is. So I just have it on, and they just have a wonderful day for a ball game, and
yeah, you're just cruising.
Here's the lineups, blah, 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 blah. It's just... Yeah. Next inning is brought to you by...
And you just sort of drift along.
I don't have... I hate saying this, but, that people always say, like, you got to give up, like, expectations and shit. First of all, I Googled how to stop snapping over little things, and the first thing I clicked on was this woman going, did you ever blah? And it's like everything that I've done. It's like, yes.
Right.
So she goes, here's 4 techniques, and I'm reading this shit, and I'm like 5 minutes into reading this, and before she says, I've been doing this for like a week, and I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't like, and I literally started snapping. Like, you don't change in a week. Okay, this is going to take me. I just turned 50. This will take, if I work my ass off, this will take all of my 50s to not do this. That's why I was joking with a buddy of mine. Why one of the most realist characters ever in any movie was Private Hooks in Police Academy. Remember, she was always all mousy, the black girl. Hey, hey, hey. And then in the end, she'd be like, "Don't move, dirtbag." And I remember joking. Every movie she'd go back to being mousy again. She had the exact same character arc, and it's just like, when is she? And reality is that's what it's like to try to change yourself as a person. Is you have fucking up for 90 minutes, and then whatever, how much time the move goes by in the movie, and then you have that breakthrough moment. Mm-hmm. You don't move, dirtbag, and then the next day, you're gonna fall back again. Or maybe 2 days later or whatever. So
yeah, but but when if you continue to do that work on yourself, where you fall back isn't as far down the ladder as you were before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I believe me, dude. Like I am committed to this because it's going to make my relationship with my wife so much better. I'm telling you, dude, if I can just stop snapping at little shit, dude, she's got nothing.
That's the real motivation.
She's got nothing. No, because what I'm still doing, this is something else that I'm starting to let go of, is when you're in a relationship with a woman, like thinking the way a guy thinks, you think I'm going to do this, and then she's going to be happy with me,
right,
and she'll be in a good mood, and then the eggshells go away.
Right. And
what you realize is that's you're chasing it's like a Ponzi scheme. Like there's no
meaning having expectations for your actions is
no, I just like I'm just always going to annoy her inherently just because I'm a man. And I'm not going to see things the way she does because she's a woman.
I'm not touching that. By
and
the way.
what she views as important versus what I view as, or she views as not a big deal and I think is a big deal, is not going to mesh. Not because she's a bad person or I'm a bad person. It's just because we are wired differently. Mm-hmm. And so I forget, something happened just this morning, and I started to get upset, and I was just like, well, why would I think that she would blah, blah, blah? And it just fucking went away.
That's great.
So I can't, but I'm afraid of this because now I feel like I'm going to become this spineless guy where, sitting there holding her purse.
You know what? I talk about the same shit I have with my therapist a bunch of times. Because not even necessarily talking about that specific thing as a human being, but talking about that specific thing as being the source of your creativity in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
no, there is a thing with comedians where it's, if I get happy, I won't be funny anymore.
Exactly.
Which is
with musicians too.
It's a huge myth. Because I'll tell you why. What happens is like once you get everything you want, as far as like you found love and you have the kid and your kid comes home and is going da 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 da, and big smiles, dude. It's the fucking greatest fucking thing ever. It's one of the few things in the world that lives up to the hype, right? Other than downloading your fucking video.
Boom.
Bam. Cross-promoting. What replaces all your angst and loneliness and I'm sleeping on a futon and shit is this new fear of that you're now going to lose it all.
Right.
Like, what if something happens? Like, I can't tell you, since having a kid, like any new scenario, like, hey, I'm going to go take her on this swing, like immediately this horror movie that Stephen King could not fuck with. Or maybe he has kids or something. That's how he writes. But like the shit that goes through your head about the possible stuff that would happen. And always in the end, I'm either murdering a person or an animal. One or the other. Dude, I've actually had fantasies of jumping down on a cougar's back, and somehow I know that UFC move where you choke it out, and I wrap my legs around its belly so it can't claw me. And I sit there while I'm eating a sandwich thinking of all of this because my wife said that she's going to, like, just take her out in the backyard.
Turns into a Joe Rogan episode.
Yeah. Yeah, so all of that, and then, like, those fucking crazy thoughts will then fuel your act, hopefully. So,
yeah.
Anyways, well, I got to read a little bit of advertising. Okay, you want to see some comedy here? Once again, my apologies to the specials, man. I feel so fucking bad about that. And I told the singer I'd throw a couple of cunts in for him, and then I called his band the Smiths, and then I had all these fucking mopey Morrissey people. He left that band 30 years ago, man. They're never getting back. And other people freaking out. Did they get back together? Like, I caused, like, this whole fucking thing. That's going on in my business right now, where they're just rebooting everything that I already watched. They're pouring through IMDb to be like, is this guy still alive? Do you think he wants to do Who's the Boss again? Or fucking, not Who's the Boss. I'm trying to think of something more obscure than that. She's the Sheriff.
Is that a show?
That was a show.
Really?
And the only reason why I know that is because a friend of mine was on it for a couple episodes, and he said it one night, and it was just like, dude, that's one of the great fucking references.
I don't even know what that is.
That was that beautiful woman who was on Suzanne Summers. She started it, and evidently she was a sheriff. She's the sheriff, and she was just this hottie who was the sheriff, and everybody had to listen to what she did. You know, I think it was for like people who were into like dominatrix and like women telling their piece of shit and they're under arrest. It was sort of something. There was an underlying sexual thing to everything that was done back then. You know, you can't do any of that now. Now she'd be a fucking hero. You know, and whatever the pendulum's completely swung the other way now. So every guy's a fucking taking his dick out and peeing on a plant, blocking a door, and women are all like fucking Joan of Arc.
There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground. That's what it is. We're going to go from not listening to women to not vetting any of them and then saying every fucking guy is a complete piece of shit. Dude, some of the shit that's coming, like some of these guys, friends of mine now, it's like literally ex-girlfriends who are mad that they're famous now.
Totally.
Are just coming out going like...
And their lives get ruined. They're like, man, I don't like you anymore, so I'm going to ruin your life.
I mean,
like,
well, the fact that if there's going to be no due process, I mean, who is safe?
Yeah, no one. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was emotionally abusive. It's like, I've got emotionally abused in like at least 85% of my relationships. I spent the last fucking week in my own fucking house on eggshells. We're back in a good place, but it's just constantly, you know, the emotional abuse. I mean, women have the fucking market cornered on that. This is a different podcast. So, anyways, that's a different topic. I feel like I like irritating people that are really into shit, like Star Wars fans.
Oh, dude!
I saw one of the newer Star Wars ones.
Yeah,
it was fucking great. It was actually really good. Now that it's not like a Muppet movie, like there was two like it was like Muppets with space and then some bad self-help. You know, this guy's good.
Dude,
he's in his lightsaber's blue.
Dude, I think Star Wars is great, but when people like make their lives revolve around it, it's like there's so much other shit out there in the world. Like,
that's why people don't like baby boomers, because baby boomers, like, they just make so much about what they grew up in and fucking all the stuff they did. If they just fucking just did what they did and just shut the fuck up about it and let the other generations realize how cool they were, they would have been fine. Hey, what do you think's going to happen to all the strip malls and malls in the future? Like, what are we going to do with those? Because there's going to be no stores left.
Because everybody's shopping from the internet?
Online, yeah. Even like they'll buy like a vintage guitar without even fucking trying it out. And have it show up and realize that it isn't. And the guy's in Japan. There's nothing you can do about it. He's got your money. I remember I bought that. Well, you know that Prince album that really the one Questlove always talks about, where it was just like I think it was just an all black album. It's not available. Like, he put it out and it
I don't know.
Yeah. I bought it off some guy in Japan. I don't even know what showed up. It was like the fucking soundtrack to Chips. And what am I going to do? Call up PayPal? They're going to find him? Hey, man. We're a web country in the United States, and unless you return that fucking money for that record, we will do absolutely nothing, because you'll just change your name and become somebody else. All right.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where can people get this video? We haven't even mentioned.
They can go to my website, just daveelitch.com.
Spell your name. We're dumb. We're dumb over here.
ELITCH. daveelitch.com. And you can just click on instructional course. It'll pop up there, and you can get everything there. It's just streaming, and everybody does these sort of subscription-based courses now, and then they just take your money forever.
Right.
And I didn't want to do that, so I'm like, you just pay for it once, you stream it forever, as long as you want. I'm not going to charge your credit card for 7 years. Like, I don't want to do that. So
I've had a couple of those. And then you forget you have it.
Exactly.
And then one day somebody's looking at your stuff going like, dude, what the fuck is this? Dude, I ever tell you I had a cell phone number for like 15 years that I never used?
Are you serious?
Yeah, like I was bitching to my wife going like, is that mine? Oh, Siri, no worries. I was paying, it just seemed like a ton of money all of a sudden for my cell phone. It just kept going up and up and up. I don't understand why I'm paying. Why am I paying so much more than fuck? It was going up to like fucking $300-$400, right? So she goes, well, let me see it. And she looked at it. She goes, all right, first of all, I think I had 3 cell phone numbers.
Why?
So, she's looking at me. Yeah, like I got like fucking chicks on the side, and I'm like, no, I don't. And we looked it up. All right, here's what it was. Back in the day, when you were on the road, you'd bring your fucking big thick laptop or whatever, and all these hotel rooms were charging anywhere from $7, $10, $11 a day for the internet.
Right.
So I was working places Tuesday through Sunday, so it was like 6 times, $10, $11. It was like costing me, and with the taxes, it was costing me like $70 to be on the internet. So my buddy Robert Kelly, right? He's like, dude, what you want to do, dude? He knows all the fucking technology. He goes, dude, you get the fucking, this hotspot thing. So it had its own number. You plugged it in to your computer and blah, 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 right? So I tried to use it twice and it never worked. And I was just like, these fucking things never fucking work. And I knew in the back of my head, it's like, I got to call these guys up and cancel it or whatever. And I just never did. And I just forgot about it.
Oh.
And recently, I actually found it. I still have the thing. So that was one of them. I forget what the other one was, but it was like two things that were of that. One was like a fax machine number, and the other was like all this outdated shit. So she got that taken off. And then I think one time when I left the country, I switched my plan, and they didn't quite switch it back or something. So now it's down to like $1.80 a month, like $1.80.